Welcome back to Deep Dive Library, the only podcast that gives you your daily recommended dose of fiber.
You're not supposed to eat the books.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a new book.
Oh, Lord.
Guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are so happy to be back. We had to take kind of a week off. Things have been very hectic. So this may be a bit of a longer episode. We might do 2 chapters in one.
Yeah.
We're not sure yet as how things are going to play out, but
it depends on how long we take on chapter 7 if we'll throw 8 in there too.
Yeah, it'll just kind of depend. Regardless, 2 episodes will be going up this week. Chapter 7 for last week and then chapter 8 for this week. But they'll be going up on the same day, so you'll have 2 videos to watch or one really long video.
Yeah.
If this video turns out to be like 3 hours long, then it was the really long video.
Yeah.
If this episode's approximately normal in length, there's going to be 2 episodes up.
Yeah.
That may or may not go up at the same time, or we might space them out. One earlier in the day, one later in the day. So like one at a regular time, and then one at like 6 p.m. Eastern.
Or chapter 7 earlier than our regular time, and then chapter 8 at a regular time.
Yeah, one way or the other, it'll be up. But
you'll
again,
get 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get 2 chapters, not 2 episodes necessarily. You might get 1 episode with 2 chapters.
Yeah. But
you get it.
Regardless, we'll get there when we get there. Thank you guys for the continued support. We really, really do appreciate you guys. And just everything that you kind of get. You guys have been sticking through it with us as we try to get things smoothed out on our side. Let's see here. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's bound to get rougher, but
yeah, we're gonna try to get a couple episodes done up this week. That way, if we're unable to record, we're gonna try to get some done early this week. That way, if we can't record later in the week, like we normally do, we'll still have them.
Yeah.
To go out. So, yeah, we're closely approaching our first guest appearance.
Yeah.
Who is very, very excited.
Yeah. Have we said what chapter it'll be yet?
11. We have said chapter 11. Okay. We have not said who it was.
Oh, yes, I know. We're going to leave that for episode 10.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, sorry about the rough intro to things, but
it's been a week.
It's been a week, so we're just trying to get we want to make sure you guys have content, so we're going to make sure you guys have content. Yeah. And we're going to try to make it the best that we can with the episode or episodes.
And we love doing this podcast.
Yeah. So nothing is going to stop us from doing it. It just some weeks might be a little harder than others.
Yeah.
To get out.
But when we do record, we and when we sit down and read beforehand, we do like focus all in on the reading, so then you are getting like everything from our brains.
Yeah, everything else in the outside world kind of just ceases to exist for a brief moment in time.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
even though the cats like to scream fairly loud sometimes,
they do in fact like to do that. That being said,
let's get on into it.
Let's get into chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
So this is coming off the eve of the ceremonies, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on the roof at the end of the last chapter talking. Yeah. So Katniss, our poor girl, has some nightmares.
Yeah.
None of which being the worse than seeing her father explode into, as she puts it, a million deadly bits of light.
Yeah. Though, I mean, yes, that one was rough. I think the, seeing Prim's emaciated and terrified, uh, you know, probably just as difficult
Oh, for
to
sure.
witness.
For sure. I wouldn't want to see one of my family members terrified and emaciated, so...
Yeah. And just no bueno.
I also wouldn't want to, wake up for telling one of my family members to run while watching them explode in my dreams either. Katniss just has a rough go of it on this particular night.
Yeah.
I
had a thought, but I'm going to keep that to myself.
With many more to come as we rapidly approach the games here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the games are coming quick, too.
Yeah,
like, I didn't realize just how quickly we get into the games, because we go into the arena in chapter 11.
Yeah.
And then we don't come out of the arena until, like, chapter 22.
I'm fairly certain.
It might be a little bit sooner than that, but still, she's in the arena for a while.
Right. I'm not saying that. I feel like it was after chapter 22 is when they come out of the arena.
It very well could be. I think they're in the arena for 11 or 12 chapters.
Yeah, because this is still in the arena, so chapter 24.
So that'd be...
So 25 or 26 is when they come out of the arena.
Let's find out.
What's this? Yeah, so this is the end. Chapter 26 is when they come out of the arena.
So for 16 chapters, 18 chapters, something like that.
What, 22 would be 11.
Yeah.
So 12, 13, 14, 15.
15 chapters. That's still like she spends a long time in the arena. It's like, what, 2 weeks? Roughly?
Yeah.
That she's in the arena.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get there when we get there. But we are rapidly. It's crazy to think that we're already like nearing the arena just as a whole. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
So dawn breaks, or is breaking through the windows as Katniss. Song pop in your head?
Yep.
So dawn's breaking as Katniss wakes up to the capital. That has a misty, haunted air about it, which I can kind of picture, because like we've all been like in a big city when there's like fog or mist in the air.
Dude, like recently, like we don't live in a big city, but like it was.
When? Because it wasn't when I left for work.
No, but that's because you don't leave for work until like 11.
I've left for work at almost noon sometimes, and it'd still be foggy out. So it just really depends on the day.
Yeah, well, the other day, what day did I work? I don't remember what days I worked this week. Tuesday?
Okay.
I think, yeah. Anyway, Katniss says that she has a headache and that she must have bitten the inside of her cheek in the night. And fair. We've
all done that in a nightmare situation.
Yeah. It was like, my tongue probes the ragged flesh and I taste blood. Not only have we all been there, but we all have experienced what it's like to have your mouth feel the same way for so long, and then something changes and it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like when you lose your teeth. Or new ones growing in, or you chip a tooth, or you get braces, or you get your braces taken off,
Right.
It always feels weird and takes a while to adjust to it.
Right. So Katniss gets out of bed. She slowly drags herself from bed.
And if it's like a bite or something, you got a sore in your mouth or whatever,
you just keep biting it. Yeah. Let's see. She drags herself out of bed. Some might say she stumbles out of bed and drags herself to the shower.
Stumble out of bed. No, tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So she tumbles out of bed and stumbles to the shower.
Yeah. To which she just arbitrarily pushes buttons.
Which, honestly, if I were in a shower like that just had all of those different settings and stuff, I probably would too. If it weren't for the fact that I've read this book and I don't want to be...
The opposing jets of hot and cold and a thick yellow foam.
No, thick lemony foam.
Well, I picture it as being yellow because it's lemony.
Yeah, but it's a foam, so it's probably white.
I mean, you can have colored foam.
Yeah, but it's most likely white.
Yes. But this is the capital we're talking about. So if it's lemony, it's most likely yellow.
Dude, we have flavored bubbles at work.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're watermelon flavored. It says for pets and kids. And I was like, for kids?
Really?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh, I got really concerned.
No, I didn't do that.
Because although I could see you doing that, I really hope you wouldn't in a public setting.
No, I wouldn't.
But yeah, just in the case of being in public, I hope you wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, but I do want to taste them.
I
don't see if they
doubt
taste
that.
watermelon-y.
Probably very artificial watermelon, like Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, but that
maybe.
shit's still good.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying it's probably very artificial.
We're still good.
It's still good. So yeah, so she is then deluged in a lemony foam that she has.
I'm sorry, she's then what?
Deluged.
Deluged.
It's the same thing.
No, deluged sounds really weird. Anyway, yeah, lemony foam that she has to scrape off with a heavy bristled brush.
Which, how thick is this foam?
Right.
That you have to scrape it off with a bristle brush.
Yeah, and also, like, how raw is her skin after?
Probably.
And she's like, oh well, so. At least my blood is flowing. Yeah, after an attack like that, it should be.
Mm-hmm. She gets out and, once she's dried and has been moisturized with the lotion, she finds an outfit that has been left for her that is, as such, tight black pants, long-sleeved burgundy tunic, and leather shoes. And I like that she says, like, this is the first time she's felt like herself in what she's wearing since the reaping.
Yeah.
But also, I underlined that because I'm like, it is not burgundy in the movie. There are burgundy stripes on it, because I looked it up. There are burgundy stripes on it, but it's a black and gray, almost like jumpsuit, like halo, like high altitude, low oxygen halo.
Yeah.
Kind of like shirt, like what they would wear under like their big apparatus and stuff. It's more what it looks like. It doesn't look like a tunic at all.
Yeah. So, in my brain, it's just a fucking t-shirt. It's just a long sleeve shirt.
Right. But she's like, she says, I put my hair in a single braid down my back. This is the first time since the morning of the reaping that I felt that I resembled myself. No fancy hair, clothing, no flaming capes, just me. Looking like I could be headed for the woods. It calms me.
She's been awoken from a nightmare, had a very interesting shower, and now she's hungry. And she's like, I hope there's breakfast to eat.
Yeah, she's hungry, and then she didn't spend, 20, 30 minutes before walking around her room eating goose liver and crackers. So she has the right to be hungry now.
Well...
It's a joke. We can snack and still be hungry.
It's not crackers, is it?
I don't think it's crackers, but it is goose liver.
Yeah,
it's goose liver and something.
I want
bread.
Know.
I think it might be just rolls.
Probably, I think
might be goose liver and rolls. I know for a fact it's goose liver. I just threw in an arbitrary starch because I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, but you could have been like goose liver and a bowl of rice. Arbitrary starch.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I kept it arbitrary within a category.
Goose liver and mashed potatoes. Those textures, it'd just be too mushy.
Yeah,
There's
well, I mean, not
no-
that I know what goose liver tastes like. I don't know what any liver tastes like. So, I've never had liver. I don't plan on ever having liver.
See, us sitting here talking about liver just makes me think of stuck
In
in
the
the drive-thru.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
if
could
you
see it in your
don't
eyes.
know, if you don't know, stuck in the drive-thru, we can't be friends. You're too young.
Yeah, but I say you might be a bit young if you don't know what stuck in the drive-thru is. Ask your parents though about Weird Al Yankovic's Stuck in the Drive-Thru. They'll know, especially if their parents are about our age or older.
Ew. I don't like the thought about somebody our age not knowing what it is, but having children old enough to watch our podcast.
It's definitely possible. I dropped my pencil.
Excuse me. Yeah, I know it's possible.
That definitely came through. That was the drawer on the desk.
Yeah.
Being adjusted. Not one of us ripping ass horribly into the microphone.
And how would we do it into the microphone when your microphone is right there? Mine is right here. I mean, it's not really.
It's slightly off camera.
It's slightly on camera, actually. It's mostly off camera. Yeah, but
anyway, we need to stay focused.
I have ADHD. I can't stay focused.
Yeah, but we're train wrecking real hard already.
We're
about 20 minutes into recording here, and we're still on the first 2 pages.
This is gonna be a really long episode. Anyway, so
Katniss heads down to the kitchen. The dining room.
Yeah. And where she's hoping there will be food. And while the table is empty, there is a long board off to the side that is just filled with food. And it's like,
breakfast.
Yes, I love breakfast.
Breakfast is delicious. It's funny because I don't ever eat breakfast.
But I love breakfast food.
And eggs are not solely a breakfast food.
All right, Hazel.
I mean, I agree with her though.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not saying I disagree.
Like, if that's the battle she wants to fight, we'll support her on it. If you guys get that reference, please.
No. If that's the battle that she wants to fight, we'll stand behind her. Quite a bit behind her.
No, I won't be that far behind her, honestly. I agree with Hazel Grace.
I know. Me too.
Miss Hazel Grace Lancaster of The Fault in Our Stars, which is a brilliantly written book.
And we'll get to that one eventually.
Oh, for sure. And all its tear-inducing melodrama.
Oh, Lord. And there's it's got like all these foods on it. And there's a young Avox standing by the table. And so she asks if she can serve herself. To
which he just nods.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't remember an Avox, because it has been 2 weeks since an episode's come out, an Avox is somebody who betrayed the Capitol in some manner, were captured and had their tongues cut out so they can no longer speak. It's horrifying. Yeah. Honestly. Like,
yeah. But, he nods and she goes and she fills her plates. She's like, I load my plate with eggs, sausage, batter cakes covered in thick orange preserves, which I'm like, is it pancakes or like cinnamon rolls? Because those are the two things that popped in my head for that.
It could be either or, but the thick orange preserves is what got me questioning. Is it like a marmalade, maybe?
Oh, probably.
I mean, orange preserves are a thing.
Lady marmalade?
So, I mean, it makes me think of marmalade, because that's the most common, like, orange-based spread.
Yeah.
So.
Slices of pale purple melon. I don't know what melon is pale purple, but I'll try it. I like melon. melon. Sorry.
It's the last melon.
And so, she sits down and she eats all of her food while she watches the sunrise over the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like,
Still hungry. So she gets a second plate, which is this time is filled with hot grain smothered in beef stew. And then she's still like, you know what?
I got room.
I got room for a plate full of rolls.
And she does what PETA does on the train, and she sits there breaking off bits of the rolls, dipping it in hot chocolate.
With like a Hawaiian's king roll, like a sweet roll.
Or a nice yeasty roll. Ooh, ciabatta.
That could be good too, but I kind of want to try that.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. We just gotta buy rolls.
Yeah, because we got the hot chocolate.
Exactly.
We got very good hot chocolate.
Yep, it's ours now. Anyway, then it goes on to... my mind wanders to my mother and Prim. They must be up. My mother gets their breakfast of mush, Prim milking her goat before school. Just 2 mornings ago, I was home. Can that be right? Yes, just 2. And now how empty the house feels, even from a distance. What will they say, or what did they say? I can read sometimes.
Yeah, you do it to me all the time.
I know. Because you somehow tend to mess up more than I do. And just start keeping a running counter, people, just in the chat. Put it a counter. How many times each of us mess up reading?
We'll tally it at the end of the season. That'd be be embarrassing. The numbers are going to be staggering.
Oh yeah. What did they say last night about my fiery debut at the games? Did it give them hope or simply add to their terror when they saw the reality of 24 tributes circled together, knowing only one could live? And it's like,
¿Por qué no los dos?
No.
Because it probably did both.
Yeah.
It probably gave him hope that she could survive, but at the same time, seeing the grandiose of it.
Yeah. Seeing all those tributes.
Would be.
It's like, oh, maybe she could survive. It probably was kind of the other way around because they were the last of the tributes to come out during the opening ceremony. So, it's like they see all of these tributes before, her and PETA come out, and it's like, oh my god, she's gonna fucking die, But then they see the, like, amazingness of the costume, and it's like, well, maybe, gave them a spark of hope.
Very well could have. So Haymitch and PETA join in on breakfast.
Breakfast.
And Haymitch does not say anything until he has had, I want to say it's 2 plates. Hold on, where is it? Haymitch, PETA come in, bid me good morning, fill their plates, and it makes me irritated that PETA is wearing the exact same outfit. Katniss is like, I really should talk to the stylist about this. But wait, I promised Haymitch I wouldn't be a butthead about it. If it wasn't for the fact that it's Cinna, I probably would just ignore Haymitch. Which is so true. Katniss is a bit nervous about training. And then we're gonna get a rundown of what training will be. So there will be 3 days of training with where all the tributes practice together.
Yep.
And then at the end of the 3rd day, or just after lunch on the 3rd day, the game makers will pull them one by one into the training room, into the gymnasium, to have a private session, which sounds pretty sus, low-key.
I didn't even think like that until just now.
Neither did I, until this very moment, honestly. but they will pull them in one by one to basically showcase their skills and what they feel will be their best attributes to the games. And the thought of, meeting the other tributes face to face kind of makes Katniss a little uneasy.
Been nervous. Which, like, fair.
And her appetite just kind of weans off. She's like, And then this says, when Haymitch has finished several platters of stew. Several.
Yeah.
Which means more than 2, but at least less than 7. So he's had anywhere between 3 to 6 plates of stew.
Where'd you get the less than 7?
Several. It's just a weird connection my brain makes. Don't know why it makes it.
To the podcast listeners, I am going to punch Connor.
To the podcast listeners, I'm going to cry. Oh. And there goes the rest of our audience retention.
Yeah. We're on one today.
We really are. He takes a flask from his pocket and takes a long pull, leans in on his elbows. So let's get down to business.
That is not how he sounds.
No, it's not. But the way he leans in on his elbows after taking a sip from a flask, it just makes me think it's from New York.
I think he also needs to take a long pull off of a cigarette.
Yeah, just
get that voice.
Yes. I remember when they invented chocolate.
We should just do the rest of the episode like this.
I don't think I can.
That'll get rid of the rest of our
Anyway, so he's like, let's get down to the brass tacks of this. Are we training you together? Or are we training you separately?
Katniss is like, why the hell would you train us separately?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, who knows? Maybe one of you has a secret skill that you don't want the other one to know about. And they
just kind of look at each other and they're both like, well, and it's crazy because like both of them are like, well, I don't have any special skills.
And Peeta literally is like, I don't have any secret skills. And then he's like, and I already know yours, right? I mean, I've eaten enough of your squirrels.
Which completely takes Katniss aback. Because for some reason, the thought has never occurred to her that the boy with the bread has eaten her food. Like her
has eaten her squirrels.
That.
Excuse me.
Was that from Squirrel?
No, it was from Sodi.
We are on one tonight, guys. I don't know what it is. But
I don't either, but it's here.
Yeah, Katniss always pictured Peeta's father just kind of like sneaking off away from his bitch of a wife.
I mean, yes, she doesn't put it exactly like that, but not just away from his bitch of a wife, but also like his bitch of kids. No, I'm kidding. Also, just like away,
just kind of sneaking off and like, well, I'm gonna eat this over here where no one can see me.
I mean, she says quietly going off. I don't think it's so. She means like so much sneakily, but just more of.
Also, why Katniss's dad sounded like Kermit the Frog? Well, the world may never know.
Katniss's dad?
Not Katniss's dad, Peeta's dad. Mark that one for the mess ups, guys.
I don't think Katniss and Peeta share a dad. I really hope not.
Same, yeah, because this isn't the first half of the first book of City of Bones, so, or the first few books, as a matter of fact.
But never mind.
You get what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. However, it's not right. Anyway, she just thinks that the baker would just go off like other people. They're out doing whatever, or eating their regular food, and he's just over there frying up a squirrel and eating it himself.
Yeah.
Not to, he She's like, not out of greed, but because town families usually eat expensive butcher meat, beef and chicken and horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't eat horse. Don't eat horse. It's very gamey. For the record, so I hear.
Um,
For the record.
it just seems rude to eat.
A horse, yeah.
They're so
But
cute.
when you can,
but then again, I also like cows and chickens too. So
look at all those chickens. Those are geese.
Yeah. But then she's like, "You can coach us together."
Peeta nods in agreement.
And Haymitch is just like, "All right. So give me some idea of what you can do."
Which to Peeta, like, immediately starts dogging on himself. He's like, I can't do anything unless you count baking bread.
And he's like, and Haymitch is just like, "Sorry, I don't. Katniss, I already know you're handy with a knife." And she's just like, "Not really."
Which,
but...
by the way, is such a tough thing for Haymitch to say.
That he doesn't count baking bread as a skill and then just move right along the...
Yeah, like, he just shits on Peeta's dreams as a baker, basically. Or, like, his life as a baker, and just moves on with it.
Well, I mean, but he means in terms of the
skill for the games,
yeah,
yes.
You know.
But, like, if this right here were to be acted out with a few people out of context, so just imagine, completely out of context, right? So give me some idea of what you can do from Haymitch, right? I can't do anything, says Peeta, unless you count baking bread. Sorry, I don't. Katniss, I already know. Like, if you picture it out of context, it's
I
mean.
get what you're saying. And the, like, image of it in my brain is hilarious, but... You know, because it's just like he's like turned towards Peeta and like, sorry, I don't. So Katniss.
it's like he's writing off Peeta as well for this, you know,
Damn.
which is he's not doing by any stretch of the imagination. But
you know, he's like, I already know you're handy with a knife, and she's like, nah, not really. But I can hunt with the bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm. Haymitch asks if she's good,
and that like takes her a second. She sits there and she starts thinking about it, and she's like, I've been putting food on the table for 4 years. That's no small task. I'm not as good as my father was, but he had more practice. I've better aim than Gale, but I've had more practice. Practice? Practice. I've had more practice. I've had more practice. He's a genius with traps and snares. I'm alright, I say. And, honestly, Peeta is not having it.
Yeah, Peeta just goes, she's excellent. My father buys her squirrels, and he always comments on how the arrows never pierce the body. She hits every one in the eye. It's the same with the rabbit she sells, the butcher. She can even bring down a deer. And this really surprises Katniss. She's like...
She's like, this assessment of my skills from Peeta? Why are you paying any attention to me?
She's like, why are you paying this much attention to me? Are you... And, like... It almost has that air of, are you in love with me or something? Which the answer to that question is an outstanding yes.
It's just like, first, that he ever noticed me. Second, that he's talking me up. What are you doing? I ask him suspiciously. And he's just like, what are you doing? If he's going to help you, he has to know what you're capable of. Don't underrate yourself. And it's almost kind of like she's like, well, you can play that game.
Right.
What about you? I've seen you in the market. You can lift 100-pound bags of flour. I snap at him and tell him that. That's not nothing.
Yes, and I'm sure the arena will be full of bags of flour for me to chuck at people, responds Peeta. It's not like being able to use a weapon. You know, it isn't.
You know it isn't.
Mark that one down.
And, Katniss is like, well, fuck you. He can wrestle. He came in second in our school competition last year, only after his brother.
Pete is like, what good does that do? He's like, how many times have you seen someone wrestle someone to death?
There's always hand-to-hand combat. All you need is to come up with a knife and you'll at least stand a chance. If I get jumped, I'm dead. I can hear my voice rising in anger, but in the audiobook it's just kind of like less in anger and more just like in pitch.
But you won't. You'll be living up in some tree, eating raw squirrels and picking off people with arrows. You know what my mother said to me? Ooh, in this.
I hate this part.
I hate it so much, but I'm going to read this in full.
Yeah.
It says, you know what my mother said to me when she came to say goodbye? As if to cheer me up. She says, maybe District 12 will finally have a winner. And then I realized she didn't mean me. She meant you.
Oh, she meant you.
She said, she's a survivor, that one. She is.
And that pulls Katniss up short. She's like, did his mother really say that about me? Did she rate me over her son? I see the pain in Peeta's eyes and know he isn't lying.
Yeah, and I wrote next to that.
Just reading that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I wrote next to that, Peeta's mom a bitch.
Yeah, but we already knew that,
Yeah,
from the backhand that she gave him with something that wasn't a hand because, whatever.
Right. And then suddenly she's behind Katniss is behind the bakery. She can feel the chill of the rain, the hollowness of her belly. Around 11 years, she was around. She sounds 11 years old
when I speak. But only because someone helped me.
Peeta's eyes flicker down to the roll in her hands. And Katniss knows that he remembers that night. But he just kind of shrugs it off. He's like, people will help you in the arena. They'll be tripping over each other to sponsor you.
No more than you, she says.
Peeta proceeds to roll his eyes at Haymitch. And then is like, she has no idea the effect she can have. He runs his fingernail along the wood grain of the table, refusing to look at Katniss.
And this peeves her. Not the fact that he won't look at her, but probably that too. But she's like, what on earth does he mean? People help me? When we were dying of starvation, no one helped me. No one except Peeta. Once I had something to barter with, things changed. I'm a tough trader. Or am I? Like, what effect do I have? That I'm weak and needy? Or is he suggesting I've got I guess that's one for me. Is he suggesting that I got good deals because people pitied me? I try to think if this is true. Perhaps some of the merchants were a little generous in their trades, but I always attributed that to their long-standing relationship with my father. Besides, my game is first class. No one pitied me.
And once again, this is the classic act of when Katniss Everdeen reading way too much into something.
I know when I was reading this over and I got to the line of she has no idea the effect she can have, I just thought back to like every moment that you've just been like, Katniss is her own worst enemy.
Because she really is in a lot of these cases. It's like, and she comes to the realization here in just a little bit that maybe it was meant as a compliment.
Yeah.
But like for a hot second here, she's just like, well,
fuck you.
Like, she's just mad about it, and she's reading too much into this. Like, he does not mean it in a disrespectful way. He does not say it in a disrespectful way. He doesn't. There's nothing about his tone in the audiobook, reading it, watching the movie. There's nothing in Peeta's tone ever that would suggest that he's being a dick about this.
Yeah.
And Katniss just reads it the wrong way, yet again.
But I think, in Katniss's life, she has just been shown time and time again to think the worst of people.
And after about a minute of this, Haymitch jumps in and says, well, Katniss, there's no guarantee that there will be bows in the arena, but during your private sessions with the game makers, show them what you can do. Until then, stay clear of archery. Are you good at trapping?
And she's like, I know a few basic snares.
Snares?
Snares.
Yeah, you got real southern on that. And
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
what the hell?
Don't worry about it.
Did you just picture Donkey Head Torbeck in your mind?
No, actually, it was in that, eventually, like, while he's over there, he and Han, like, Gricko and Twig, just kind of start hee-hawing too, so...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere,
so
you hop off with...
It was actually Twig that was in my head for whatever reason.
He just started hee-haw, hee-haw. So Haymitch says that they might be useful in terms of finding food.
Yeah. And he reminds Peeta that Katniss is right, that he shouldn't underestimate strength, that very often physical power tilts the advantage to a player.
Mm-hmm. In the training center, they will have weights, but, don't reveal how much you can lift.
Yeah. Leave that for when...
Basically, they're told to stay away from their strengths. Katniss is told to stay away from archery. Peeta is told to stay away from strength training. Yeah. He's like, throw a spear, swing a mace, learn to tie a decent knot, save showing what you are best at until your private sessions. And one last thing. And this gets them both a little heated. Both of them a little heated. Mm-hmm. Because they are not on great terms right now.
Yeah.
One last thing. In public, I want you to eat by each other's side every minute, says Haymitch. They both start to object, and Haymitch slams his hand on the table like, every minute. This is not open to discussion. You agreed to do as I said. You will be together. You will appear amiable.
Amiable to each other. Sorry.
Now get out. And meet Effie by the elevator in 10 minutes, or at 10.
For training. And, Katniss is really not happy about this, and she, gets up and she stalks back to her room and she slams the door, making sure that it's loud enough that Peeta will be able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sits on her bed, hating Haymitch, hating Peeta, hating herself for mentioning that long ago day in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, fair, because we know that, that day is both, a sore spot for her, but also, I think it was, one of the, first moments that she's had outside of, moments with her father and her family, where it's just wow, people can care about you.
Yeah, she doesn't have them very often, so she often misreads it. She goes on to say, it's such a joke. Peeta and I are going to pretend to be friends, talk up each other's strength, and insisting the other take credit for their abilities, because in fact, at some point, we're going to have to knock it off and accept that we're bitter adversaries, which I underlined and wrote next to it, only to you. Because even if the games were to play out the intended way, as most people know, the games do not play out their intended way in this book.
Right.
Even if they had, Peeta still would have laid down his life before killing Katniss, regardless of how things played out. In the end, she still would have been wrong, no matter what the outcome was.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Uh,
it's only to you, Katniss Everdeen. Only to you.
she was like, which I'd be prepared to do right now if it wasn't for Hamige's stupid instructions that we stick together in training. It's my own fault, I guess, for telling him he didn't have to coach us separately. But that didn't mean that I wanted to do everything with PETA, who, by the way, clearly doesn't want to be partnering up with me either.
And then she goes on to say, I hear Peter's voice in my head. She has no idea the effect she can have. Obviously meant to demean me, right? Wrote next to that, no. But a tiny part of me wonders if this was a compliment. Wrote next to that, yes. Because again, Katniss is her own worst enemy. It's like how Voldemort is his own worst enemy. But we'll get into that another time. And if you were also a watcher of the inspiration for this series or for this podcast through the Gryffindor, you've heard them talk about how Voldemort is his own worst enemy numerous times.
Anyway, unless they're gonna sponsor us, we gotta stop plugging them.
Nah, always plug your inspiration.
I was making a joke.
I would more love to have them on an episode. That'd be crazy to have the Carlin brothers on.
But a tiny part of her wonders if, his comment was meant to be a compliment. That he meant I was appealing in some way. It's weird how much he noticed me, like the attention he paid to my hunting. And apparently I have not been as oblivious to him as I imagined either. The flower, the wrestling, I have kept track of the boy with the bread.
Mm-hmm. So, it's about 10. Katniss makes her way. She cleans her teeth, smooths back her hair again, makes her way to the elevator like, huh.
Yeah. Her anger temporarily blocked out her nervousness at meeting with the other tributes face to face.
But now she can feel her anxiety rising by the time she gets to the elevator with Peeta and Effie, which I absolutely adore Effie. There's a moment later in this chapter that I absolutely love of Effie. It's after Katniss tells them.
That's not this chapter, that's the next chapter.
Is it the next chapter?
That's the next chapter.
Well, we'll get there when we get there. But I absolutely love that moment. It's such a good moment.
That's what I think.
So they hit the elevator, and the elevator the training floor is underneath everything else. So it's in a basement, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about that a bit last week, I believe.
Last episode.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it in that episode?
It was either that one or the episode before. But I am fairly certain it was because didn't last chapter start out with them going
up the elevator?
Yeah.
It would be them going to the 12th floor, to the penthouse.
Yeah.
So, it's below everything. They make their way down. They realize that with it not quite being 10 yet, they're the last ones to arrive. The other tributes are not dressed the same, which irks Katniss that much more.
But it's also, interesting. It's, trying to get a look into, Cinna and Portia's mind. It's okay, so what was really the idea around dressing them alike, even for training? For the chariot rides, I think it was one thing. Probably most of the districts, the male and females, were dressed similarly because industry. But it was okay, what was the purpose of keeping it that way? Even for just their training outfits. And that's one thing that's different between the book and the movie is Katniss and Peter are dressed the same in the book and nobody else is dressed similarly to each other. However, in the movie, everybody's wearing the same damn outfit.
Yeah, and just different colors on the sleeves, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's all the same color.
Is it all the burgundy stripe on the shoulder?
I believe so. Yeah, they
We'll
all
have to
just
look into
wearing the
that.
same damn outfit.
Which,
And it's
again,
like,
makes no sense. It's like, why? Why?
I mean, I guess it was easier for the costume department. All the tributes are
You
just
know what it
wearing it.
is?
Huh.
They blew the costume design budget on the opening ceremony.
Oh. Well, if that's the case, they should get their money back for that CGI flame. It was not it. Um,
You just blow out a flame.
Whoa, is my hair out?
Yes, Hades, it usually is. Sorry.
Anyway,
So let's see here. Someone pins a cloth with the number 12 onto her back, which I think is weird. Why not just have them integrated into their training outfits? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I mean, yes, if they always had designated training outfits, but for the fact that
The other ones dressed similarly.
Well, it very well could have been that all of the other tributes just picked out an outfit and decided to wear that.
Oh, very well could be.
We
or at
don't
least
know.
something along similar vein.
What do you mean?
So, Katniss is wearing, the pants, the shirt, long sleeve shirt, and leather boots. I'm assuming that the others are wearing something in a similar vein, something that is designed to be sweat in, but still be breathable and movable for training.
Mayhaps, but again, we don't know.
No, because they don't explain it explicitly. That also could be why they all wear the same thing in the movie. Is that it's not explicitly stated what the others are wearing, so they had nothing to go off of, but Katniss and Peeta.
I mean, yeah, but even their outfits in the movie aren't the same. It's not even like they took the outfits that Katniss and Peeta wear from the book and put it in the movie. I mean, because for one thing, she says that she wears a long sleeve tunic. All of their shirts, short sleeve.
Yeah, and also, surprisingly not burgundy.
No, it's like black, silver, and then have that little
burgundy strip. Yeah. That goes, I want to say it's across the shoulder.
It's something like that.
I was looking at it earlier and I still don't remember.
Yeah. It's not that important, not to me anyway.
Is it up on the... No, that's not the right one. Okay. So as soon as they join the circle, the head trainer, a tall, athletic woman named Atala?
Yeah.
Okay. I could not remember, and I was I was struggling while trying to read this name. That's one of the things that I said. It was Atala. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right, but we're going to move on. I'm not going to spend too much time on this.
Yeah, no, Atala. Though, it literally could be pronounced differently. I don't know, but that's the way that Carolyn McCormick reads it.
Which, fair.
So that's how it is in my brain.
So, she then goes on to explain that each station has an expert in that field. And you can spend all your time at one station honing one thing, or you can move around and, spend time here and 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 spend time here.
Yeah, we get it. But either way, it should be based on your mentor's instructions. And then some of the stations teach survival skills, other fighting techniques, and they are forbidden to engage in combat with the other tributes. If they want to do hand-to-hand, there are assistants to practice with. And when Atala begins to read down the list of skill stations, my eyes can't help flitting around to the other tributes. It's the first time we've been assembled on level ground in simple clothes. My heart sinks. Almost all the boys and at least half the girls are bigger than I am, even though many of the tributes have never been fed properly. You can see it in their bones, their skin, the hollow look in their eyes. I may be smaller naturally, but overall, My family's resourcefulness has given me an edge in that area. I stand straight, and while I'm thin, I'm strong. The meat and plants from the woods, combined with the exertion it took to get them, have given me a healthier body than most of those I see around me.
The exceptions to that being the kids from the wealthier districts of 1, 2, and 4, which are colloquially known in District 12 as the careers or career tributes.
Well, I'd say the career tributes or
The careers.
just the careers.
Yeah, but regardless, they're known as the careers. It is explicitly forbidden and illegal to train tributes for the arena before they hit the training center. They're not supposed to.
I love that you said it's explicitly forbidden, and I looked down and it's just like, it's technically against the rules, and it's just like, wow. We're saying two different things here.
Well, you know.
I mean, and it is true. It is forbidden to train the tributes before they go into the arena.
Into the training center. Like, they're not supposed to receive any kind of training. But 1, 2, and 4 break that rule almost often. Religiously.
Yeah.
Which is why they are called the careers.
Yeah.
They are often better. They are always better fed. They are always better trained, and are constantly ready to throw hands. Really,
my brain went rip somebody's head off.
And each of them must have 50 to 100 pounds on Katniss.
Yeah.
What?
Pause it. Anyway, I told him about the sad thing. You'll find out about it later if you don't know it already. Anyway.
So the slight advantage that Katniss held coming into the training center, their fire entrance last night.
Fiery.
That's what I said, fiery.
You said fire.
I said fiery.
Well, it sounded like fire.
I don't know. You guys let us know who was right. Their fiery entrance for the games has seemed to vanish in the presence of the competition. The other tributes were jealous of us, but not because, they were particularly amazing, but because their stylists were. And yeah, so each tribute seems to have about 50 to 100 pounds on Katniss.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show how small Katniss is. She might be fit and toned, but she's tiny.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say dainty, because that's definitely not the right word.
No.
But she's very much petite in stature.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it there.
Yeah.
They project arrogance and brutality. When Atala releases them, they head straight for the deadliest weapons in the gym and handle them with ease because they've been cheating.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm thinking it's lucky that I'm a fast runner. And it's like, yeah, that's probably going to be very helpful at some point. When Peeta nudges her arm and she jumps because she forgot that he was standing there. And he's like, where would you like to start? And, she takes a moment to look around the room at the careers and, the other tributes. And she's like, suppose we tie some knots. And he's like,
right you are.
And that's what they go off and do. They go to the knot tying station. And the trainer seems to be...
Excuse me. Just dying a little all of a sudden.
Well, stop it.
Yeah, but you were saying...
The trainer seems happy to have people at their station because... she feels like knot tying is not the hot spot of the Hunger Games when it comes to the classes that they do.
Mm-hmm. And they work on their knot tying skills and their trapping skills for a little while, and they make their way over to the camouflage.
Like, when the trainer realizes that Katniss knows something about snares, He shows us a simple, excellent trap that will leave a human competitor dangling by a leg from a tree, which is just a funny image in my head.
Yeah, because especially considering she never uses this.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she ever sets up this trap. She might one of the first nights she's in the arena, but like it never becomes useful in any meaningful way in the arena.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, then they head over to the camouflage station.
Mm-hmm. And PETA is
having a
very
gay old time.
yeah, and Katniss is genuinely almost awestruck at his skill. And PETA's like, I do the cakes.
She's like, why'd you read it like that? I do the cakes.
Because, like, I don't know. But, like, how is that any way to start a conversation?
Well, I mean, she's probably standing there staring at him do all this camouflage stuff in, like, awe and confusion. And so he says that in response.
Right, but, like,
so,
you know, he could say, you know, I decorate the cakes at the bakery, not just I do the cakes. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did write sus next to that.
Stop it. Get some help.
I can't afford it.
Me neither. But she's confused and she's like, the
cakes?
You know, because she's been preoccupied with watching District 2.
Send a spear through a dummy.
From 15 yards away. Right through the heart.
Through a dummy's heart. Which, by the way, you know how much force is needed to go through something like that? Like, I'm assuming there's some, like, probably something akin to, like, burlap dummies. But at 15 yards to hurl a trident through a proverbial heart.
Yeah, just...
And if he's acting with a trident, he must be from, 4.
No,
he says
from
2.
It's a spear, not a trident. Number 1. Number 2, yeah, he's from District 2. That's the boy from District 2.
No, because I don't know why I thought trident, though.
I don't know why you thought trident either. Especially because it says spear, clear as day.
Yeah. But I wonder if Phoenix training, he was doing similar things, but with a trident.
I mean, maybe, but
you'll meet Finnick in the next book. You'll love him. He's good.
I don't.
Actually, you might think he's a bit uppity at first.
It's okay.
But he grows on you.
I don't.
Kind of like the fuck.
Stop.
Get some help.
Claudius Templesmith, other Hunger Game announcer.
Oh yeah,
because I wrote it down so I didn't forget it.
But Katniss was like, "What cakes?" And Peter's like, "At home, the iced ones for the bakery. You know, the thing my family's kind of known for in the district."
I don't like the way you're reading. Peter doesn't ever talk to Katniss like she's stupid.
No, but like she deserves it sometimes.
That's rude. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's rude.
Katniss then realizes he's talking about the ones for the displays.
Yeah.
And they're for birthdays, New Year's. Excuse
Bless
me.
you. He's sneezy.
Yeah, my allergies are going crazy. And I don't have any Zyrtec.
I don't take Zyrtec. I take Claritin.
I don't have any kind of allergy meds though.
Okay.
I'd
offer you some, but
so, you know, every time they're in the square, every time Katniss and Prim are in the square, Prim's like, I want to go see the cakes. And Katniss is like, yeah, all right. Because there's not much beauty within 12.
So she's like, well, I can't, take this from her.
Yeah. She's like, well, I mean, there's not really much to look at, so might as well.
But then, she takes a moment and she looks closer at the design PETA has on his arm. The alternating pattern of light and dark suggesting sunlight falling through leaves in the woods. And she wonders, how the hell he would know about that? Because she's fairly certain, that
He's never been to the woods.
yeah. So like, has
They've
he
never
somehow been
spoken.
able? Has he somehow been able to uh just pick that up from the scraggly old apple tree in his backyard? Um, and she's just like, somehow the whole thing, his skill, those inaccessible cakes, the praise of the camouflage expert annoys me. And she
Katniss is
just attitude.
just non-stop attitude from Katniss.
She's just like, it's lovely. If only you could frost someone to death.
And then Peeta's like, "Don't be so superior. You can never tell what you'll find in the arena. Say it's actually a gigantic cake," begins Peeta.
Say we move on. She breaks in.
And I'm like, I just kind of parentheses say it's actually a gigantic cake, and I'm like, lol, if only. Could you imagine? That'd be the irony of the Hunger Games, right? The arena being a giant cake, the last one standing from eating cake is the winner.
Will they be crowned cake, Chad?
They might be crowned cake, Chad. But I'm not gonna lie, that's what made me think of it, though.
Anyway, so then she talks about
Say we move on.
yeah. So the next 3 days pass with her and Peta going quietly from station to station, trying out new things,
And
picking up different skills.
I love this little bit here because Katniss says, so the next 3 days pass with Peta and me going quietly from station to station, as you just read. And then she goes in to explain what happened on each day.
Yeah.
It's like, was there a need for that? I think it's a neat literary thing that is done here. It's like, yeah, for the next couple days, we just quietly did this, this, and this, and then I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail and tell you in more detail what we did. It's like, this sentence alone could realistically move you directly into
like the next bit.
Into the private sessions with the game makers.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't necessarily go on to speak of like what they exactly they did on each day. You know,
no, but she goes into more.
You pick up some valuable skills from starting fires to throwing knives, or to knife throwing, if I could read in the correct order. To making shelter. Despite Hamish's order to appear mediocre, Peta excels in hand-to-hand combat, and I sweep the edible plants test without blinking an eye. But they do steer clear of archery and weightlifting, as they have been directed to.
The game makers appeared early on the first day.
Yeah.
And they're basically just watching. The game makers are purely there to observe and assess and discuss amongst themselves what each tribute, what they can see that their skills are, things like that. Like, Katniss and Peter are kind of playing things down. There are probably some others as well who are playing things down. Like, I kind of imagine Foxface, who we haven't met yet, but I kind of imagine Foxface just kind of playing things down a little bit.
I could see that.
Because she's conniving and she's very sly and clever.
She's foxy.
Well,
that's not what I
meant. Okay. Say we move on.
Mm-hmm.
That might be become.
BB. Yeah, so anyway.
So yeah, they're just there to kind of
watch and assess.
And decide how they want to run the games. That plays a large part into things of what's going to be in the cornucopia, how they're going to run the games and things like that.
I mean, maybe we don't actually have any, like, actual
confirmation on that. No.
Yeah, that's just a best guess.
Something tells me that had Katniss not done what she does later, a certain thing would not be in the arena.
I mean,
so I think it plays a part into it.
Mayhaps, but it also could be that because she does that, that is why there is only one in the arena.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know from the second book that there's at least 2.
Yeah.
Of each. Like a full set of each.
Yeah.
Or 2 full sets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So that's very plausible. But like the weapons do rotate. There was that one year she mentioned where I think it was just like rocks.
All just spiked maces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the weapons do rotate, and I think period her actions later in this chapter do contribute to what she has access to later in the arena.
Yeah. But
whether it be it being there at all or how much is there is up in the air.
Yeah, but like by this time, the exact like flavor of the games, if you would, has already been decided, has already been chosen.
Yeah.
All the like trapped areas of the arenas have already been laid out and all that.
I think it has more to do with in what order things are released more so.
Yeah, mayhaps.
There's really no way to tell. You don't really know what goes into game making until the next book.
And even then,
it's still pretty
get, like,
vague.
little bit of it.
Yeah, because we meet an absolutely incredible character in the next book.
You actually get more about game making from Ballad than you do from these 3 books.
Yes.
But the only difference is that is so early on in the Hunger Games, and we're like so late in the Hunger Games here that though you get the look into the game making there, the deeper look there, it's still different than how things are now.
Yeah, it's considerably more primitive then than it is now.
Yeah.
And that just part of that comes due to the advancement in technology, and then also foreshadow alert, spoiler alert, foreshadow report, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to move the arena out of the capital, so they had to advance their technology. I think a large part of that, or I think because of the advancements in technology and other things that happen in the book, which we won't go into right now, they decided to move it out of the capital. But they needed that technology before they could.
Yeah.
So that still blows my mind. By the way,
what?
That the games took place inside the capital.
Oh yeah.
That just didn't make any sense to me when I first read that. I was like, huh?
That's fair.
But we'll get there. Let's see. They consult with trainers.
Oh yeah, when they're like on their lunch break, the
trainers come in to kind of sit and talk with people, and
the game makers talk to the trainers.
Oh yeah.
About how the tributes are doing with the stuff that they've gone over. And then she goes on to mention that though breakfast and dinner are served on their floors, they all eat lunch in like a little
cafeteria that's just off the side of the
gymnasium. And that the food is arranged on carts around the room, and you serve yourself.
Yeah, it's set up buffet style.
Woohoo. She mentions that the careers tend to like gather rowdily around a table, probably trying to like prove their superiority to the other tributes.
Oh, for sure.
And most of the others just sit alone. But of course, her and I almost said her and Katniss. Her is Katniss.
Yes. Her is Katniss, in fact.
Her and Peeta sit together. Because, of Haymitch's directive to,
stick together.
Yeah. She says, it's not easy to find a topic. Talking of home is painful. Talking about the present unbearable. One day, Peeta empties our bread basket and points out how they have been careful to include types from the districts along with the refined bread of the capital. I assume the refined bread from the capital is just white bread.
Probably. Or maybe it's like something a little fancier, like Italian or sourdough, maybe. I could see the capital people loving sourdough.
Pumpernickel. Rye.
Probably a good rye bread.
I love rye bread.
Actually, I always kind of assume that rye is more of like an 11 specialty. Yeah.
That's
like with
fair.
the seeds and stuff, like, because I've seen like seeded like rye bread and stuff.
Yeah.
So I always pictured that being more of like district 11's bread.
Yeah.
But you get a
fish-shaped loaf tinted green with seaweed from 4.
Yeah, which sounds delicious. I like seaweed. I like the way seaweed tastes.
Me too.
I'd be interested in trying that, because if it's dyed with the seaweed, it's got a bit of that umami-ness to it.
Yeah. I mean, and in the second book, they do have, when the first time they get any bread from sponsors in the arena, it is the District 4 bread.
Yeah.
And she does say, like, at one point, she's like, I wish they would stop sending the other bread and send us more of the District 4 bread, because it's saltier, and though she's had water, she needs the salt.
Yeah. Because if you did not know...
she's had the fish, she needs the salt.
Yeah, and if you did not know, salt in small quantities, like a lot of your good, like, hydration drinks, have salt in them. They have less salt, or they have less sugar, more salt. Salt, in fact, is good for hydration in the right quantities. And that is probably a large reason why she is asking for the salt, because it actually helps hold that moisture in your body.
Yeah.
And keeps you from dehydrating as quickly.
Yeah. And that is why she wants it.
If you did not know that, there's your science lesson for the day.
The crescent moon rolls dotted with the seeds from 11.
And again, I think that's probably more akin to like a rye style bread.
I mean, maybe she does say that it's clearly made from the same stuff that District 12 makes there.
Yeah, but
it's not as ugly. It
as
looks more
drop biscuits, which I've never heard of drop biscuits. I mean, I've dropped a can of biscuits.
Never heard of drop biscuits?
No.
We'll get into that later. And she's like, you certainly know a lot. And he's just like, only about bread. Now laugh as if I've said something funny.
Which he should not have to say, because that's hilarious. In my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel, but if you're like, yeah, this one's from here because of this, and they use this and this and this, and this one's here from here, like on any topic, right? And somebody's like, wow, you know a lot. And you're like, yeah, but only about this topic. It's like, I'm pretty much an idiot everywhere else.
I mean, that's not what he's saying. It is how you could read it. But it's not
almost
necessarily...
implied.
No, he's just saying that he only knows a lot about bread, but his knowledge about other things are just kind of, like, not as, like, stacked.
Elevated.
Yeah.
Some might say leavened.
That's it. That's the joke right there.
I'm actually kind of proud of that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a great joke, even.
I'm not gonna write it. I'm pretty proud of that one.
No.
Katniss is like, certainly, you know a lot. Oh yeah, only about bread. Sorry. And then Peeta's like, all right, I'll keep smiling and you just talk. Katniss is like,
did I ever tell you the story about the time I got chased by a bear? And it's like,
what?
A bear? And she
pissed off Yogi. Peter's like, no, but it sounds fascinating. He's like, please do tell. Please do tell.
She tries to animate her face as she recalls the event. And it's a true story in which she foolishly challenged a black bear over the rights to a beehive.
And Peeta laughs and asks questions right on cue. And it's Katniss is like, he's much better than this than I am, but I think that there, in a situation like that, is something you are naturally born with. When you're in a tense situation like that and you're having to play you have to play that, like natural role because there is some tensity between the two people. That is something that you can't really learn.
It was either, I think you can.
To this effectiveness, I doubt.
He may have been having to do it all his life.
With his mother, yes.
Yeah.
And which might be why it comes so naturally to him. But it is still not an easy thing to learn, to be able to answer on, answer or ask questions at just the right moments, unless it's something that you're used to.
Yeah.
Or you have that big personality, say our friend Claudius Templesmith, or our other friend whose name is now escaping me, Caesar Flickerman. There we go.
I feel like that's the one you originally meant to say, but you couldn't think of Caesar Flickerman, so you just said Claudius Templesmith.
Yeah, because he was the most recent one in my brain.
That's fair. But on the second day,
they're doing some spear throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't know we were related, you know now.
I thought you were gonna say if you didn't know we were twins, you would know now. I was about to be like, finally, my status as the third twin.
Keep hoping.
I am the third twin.
Anyway, so they take a shot at some spear throwing.
When Peeta makes notice that
they've got a shadow, which is marginally messed up.
No, don't even go there.
I'm not going to. Not any farther than that. But
why would you even go there at all? That is not what he was talking about.
Hey, I don't know.
Anyway, so she turns and she looks and she sees that the little girl from District 11 that reminded her of Prim is
sorry.
Not too far behind them, watching them. And that she reminds her of Prim, and that up close she looks like she's 10.
Yeah. And we come to find out that this adorable little child with her bright dark eyes
and satiny brown skin,
which sounds like an oxymoron.
No, I can see it. And stands tilted on her toes with her arms slightly extended to her side, as if ready to take wing at the slightest sound.
Mm-hmm. Peeta says that he thinks her name is Rue, and Katniss thinks, well, Rue is a small yellow flower that grows in the middle. Metal?
In the middle? Yeah.
I said metal, not middle.
It sounded like you said middle to me.
I said metal.
Either way, it wasn't meadow, which is the correct word.
Rue, Primrose, neither of them could tip the scale at 70 pounds soaking wet, which just says how small Rue is.
Yeah.
And I love Rue. Rue is a sweetheart.
When you were reading this, the like, Rue is a small yellow flower, my brain was like, Rue is the start to a good sauce.
when I was reading this chapter earlier, I also thought that. That's what went through my mind. I'm like, it's also the start to a good gravy.
Good cheese sauce.
Good sauce, period. And a lot of sauces start with a roux, which, if you don't know what a roux is, it is a combination of water and flour, or more commonly, butter and flour.
It's a combination of oil and flour, not water.
I've seen some roux started with water.
How the fuck are you starting a roux with water?
You just use a lot of flour. But typically it's done with a fat. Some form of fat, whether it be butter or oil or bacon grease or duck fat or lard.
Whatever. It's just supposed to be equal parts.
Yeah.
Fat and flour.
Did you just call me a fat flour?
No.
Good old iCarly reference, man. I haven't made one of those in a while.
But I was thinking,
other than Gibby,
it would take a lot of flour to equal the fat content of me.
Same, dog. Same. Katniss is like, well, what do we do about it? Peeta's like, well, not much we can. And that's
like nothing to do, just making conversation.
Yeah. Katniss is like, well, I know she's there now.
And I can't unsee it.
And I can't unsee her everywhere I look. And it says that so I find this interesting here. She says that she's clever with plants, climbs swiftly, and has good aim. She can hit the target every time with a slingshot. But what's a slingshot against a 220-pound male with a sword? And I said, well, because it depends on the kind of slingshot we're talking here.
Right, but
like if we're talking one of like the newer, like the more modern slingshots that have like the rest on the arm or whatever, or just it's like the Y with the strap on it and you fling it back, right? Okay, yeah, those don't generate a ton of force.
But the
But traditional slings, like it's two long pieces of string or like leather straps with a pouch that you load a rock into and you fling it like you're a madman and generate such centrifugal force that when you let go and it makes contact, it can equate to lower caliber bullets. Like, and the science has been done. You're wondering why the Beyond bullets was so hard, wasn't you? Because I'm also wondering why.
You said bullets like that, and my brain was like, do you think I'm scared of your
bullets? But like...
Today is just an episode of references from everything but this.
Right, apparently.
Well, actually, even including this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, no, a traditional sling can kill a man, like, if used properly.
Yeah. Honestly, when you were like, I find this interesting, I thought you were going to say the fact that she was like me. You know, she's like me, she's clever with plants, climbs swiftly, and has good aim.
Right, and that is a good comparison. And I did think about that in the reading of this, but it really was that what is a slingshot against a 220-pound male with a sword? And I'm like, Katniss, that's not an entirely accurate like thing to state unless you're talking about a modern slingshot. Modern slingshots will hurt if you hit someone with them, yes. But they do not generate the same level of lethal force that a traditional sling can generate.
Yeah, but when you look at the fact that like
traditional slings have been known to like break concrete.
Well, that's not what I was going to say. I was gonna, with the advancements of all the technology and stuff, it probably is like more modernized.
again, I think in the movie it's depicted as a more modernized slingshot.
I don't even remember if she ever even picks up a slingshot in the movie.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I haven't seen that movie in a while though.
Yeah, we're gonna need to rewatch
And I don't
it.
remember. We're gonna do that with the viewers.
Yeah. Right here on YouTube or on Patreon, one or the other.
And if you're listening to this on Spotify, then it's not right here.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. We do have a Spotify now.
Yeah. I don't. Oh yeah,
we did say something about it in the last.
Did
video.
we? Okay. Yeah, we do have. It's still not completely up to date. I'm not gonna. Again, it's been. It's been stressful the last couple of weeks, so things have been very slow going in terms of the background processes for everything. But yes, we do have a Spotify.
Yeah, I think. What have you put up any more episodes than
Not
just the first
since
one?
No. Okay. I need to, and I've been meaning to. Just everything else keeps getting in the way.
Well, I'll make him do it. I would offer to do it, but it's all on his computer.
I'm gonna say I have everything backed up to my PC. I don't
know how to do any of that, so he's the technological savvy one.
But yeah, so that's just my thought with the slingshot, is that if she was using a traditional sling or traditional slingshot, traditional sling, Rue could very well rival Katniss in terms of deadly force.
I mean, yeah.
You know,
David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, and that's what I was thinking too, was like, if you look at the story of David and Goliath and whether you believe in that or not, there are other evidences of
whether you think it's real or not, honestly, it's just like
there are other
story, like, so.
Well, I mean, there are other evidences of people using slings to that effectiveness, you know, throughout history. So whether you believe in it or think is real or not, there are other bits and pieces of evidence throughout history that, yeah, no, a traditional sling can send a rock through a man if done properly, or at least into him, if done properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like, it just, so that there just kind of depends. But back on the 12th floor, Haymitch and Effie grill them throughout breakfast and dinner about every moment of the day. And it's like, why are you grilling them about something that happened yesterday at breakfast the day after? If you could have just talked to them about it at dinner the night before.
Well, they definitely did talk to him about it at dinner the night before, but
it's just a question.
I think what it is, you know, sometimes after like after some time has passed, you remember things.
Could be.
You know,
that
so
very
it's
well
just
could
like
be it, yeah.
Any details that were missed from the night before are relayed at breakfast the next morning. So don't be an asshole. But
at the end of the second night, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Senna and Portia haven't joined them for their meals.
Yeah, so things are a little bit strenuous.
You know, not that Haymitch and Effie have been fighting anymore. Katniss says, instead they seem to be of one mind, determined to whip us into shape, full of endless directions about what we should do and not do in training. Pina Peta is more patient, but Katniss is becoming fed up with them.
And quite a bit surly. When they finally escape to bed on their second night. Peta's like, someone should get Haymitch a drink. And Katniss is like, that's fucking hilarious.
Basically.
She lets out she lets out a sound somewhere between a snort and a laugh and catches herself. She's like, it's messing with my mind too much, trying to keep straight when we're supposedly friends, and, you know, we're not.
And when we're not.
And, you know, she's like, at least when we go into the arena, I'll know where we stand. Don't let's pretend when there's no one around. Which still trips up my brain every time I read it.
Not me. It's
Um,
just
and Peter's just like, all
exhausting.
right, Katniss, he says tiredly. After that, they only talk when they're in front of people, which I think is still, like, it's such a horrible way to live through things like this. Like, work with each other. But I digress.
Wait, no, hold on.
What? I knew that's where you were going. I knew it. I just knew it. I did.
That's right. We share brain cells.
So they go through the last day of training. And they hit lunch.
And, during
Lunch is when they start to pull the districts for their individual
training
sessions.
sessions.
And of course, as always, District 12 is last in line.
Yep. And it goes boy girl, so Katniss will be there alone.
But only
Eventually.
briefly.
Well, it depends on how long PETA's training session goes and cleanup for it goes,
Which in here it says only about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
So I finally got a number of time right in the book.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I expected you to use your left hand.
There we go.
I just figured it'd be easier than you trying to.
Whatever.
Anyway, so the other tributes slowly start to what's the word I'm looking for?
Dissipate.
Trickle out.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And after Rue leaves, it's just the two of them.
Yep. And they just kind of
sit in silence. What?
They ponder of something great. Sorry.
Until it's Peeta's turn to go.
And Peeta's like, well, I'll see you later. And Katniss is like,
wait. Remember what Haymitch said about being sure to throw the weights.
Oh yeah, no. What I was gonna say was Peeta said I was just gonna be like, all right, I guess this is my turn, which he doesn't actually say. No. But yeah, Kat is like, remember to throw the weights, and Peeta's like, he's like, I will. You shoot straight. It's such an awkward moment for those two. Like, I'd say this is one of the more awkward moments, and there's the whole cave thing.
We'll get to that. But I think she's taken him by surprise. He wasn't expecting her to say this, especially considering she's like the one who was like. I don't know why I
said it.
Well, yeah, but no, because she was the one who was like, "Don't let's pretend" when there's no one around, and then so she's the reason that when they're alone, they haven't been talking.
Right.
So I think it definitely just caught him off guard that she had even said that. So he's just like, thanks, I will. You have shoot straight. Because he didn't have any time to think of something to say. Right. Because he was just so caught off guard by it.
And then after about 15 minutes, they call Katniss. She smooths her hair, sets her shoulders back, and walks into the gymnasium. Instantly. Sorry. She instantly knows she's in trouble. She's like, the game makers have sat here for 23 tributes. I'm the last one of the day. They're going to pay me no mind whatsoever. So Katniss is like, well, let me just do what I do best. I'm going to shoot some arrows into some shit.
Oh, you were talking about the weapons. About the arrows in the last video?
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the bows and the arrows in the last video.
Yeah. And, well, the arrows specifically, because you were like, they, at least for the movie ones, they look so rigid and can't imagine them, like, flying with the, sorry, there's a hair on my finger, with the the tail feathers being
Mhm.
as like rigid and like straight metal or whatever the hell they were in the
Yeah.
movie, you know, and uh, there's a hair on my shirt.
Oh, okay.
It's just it caught the light behind us,
Oh,
so I could
okay.
see it. I was like, "What? What's
Yeah, I
that?"
was talking about how like the especially like in the movie, the bow and arrows, the arrows more specifically, first of all, are all silver. Even in the training room, they're depicted as all silver.
Yeah,
Which here in the book, they're
it's
not.
not.
The bows are made of wood and plastic and metal and materials I can't even name. Katniss, this is Katniss describing the arrows with feathers cut in flawless uniform lines.
Yeah.
So like there's no mention of them being like stark silver here. And like in the movies those flights look so they look like they're solid metal.
Yeah.
There's
Now
that arrow must be so heavy. Unless
you
it's
know,
a plating.
when she gets into the arena, and she sees the bow and arrow, she does say that it's silver bow and arrow. But I don't think it's as like that as it is depicted in the movie, as
Where it looks like it's made out of silver.
Yeah, like the whole thing is just like completely
Yeah,
like,
I think
metal
it's
and
more of like a
whatnot.
metal. Well, I mean, the bow itself could be completely metal.
Right, but
That
I'm
would make
talking about like
sense.
all of it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's a simple bow. All in all, it's got some metal, plastic materials. I wonder if those materials she can't name are rubber, maybe, or some kind of vinyl.
Maybe, but I also she says bows made of wood and plastic and metal and materials I can't even name.
Yeah.
So there are bows made of wood,
Oh,
bows made of plastic, bows made of metal,
metal.
and bows made of other materials.
Which is probably some kind of like composite, maybe carbon fiber or something or other.
Bow made of quartz. I don't think
that would shatter the amount of force a bow lets off like that. I guarantee you that bow would just shatter after the first. You better hit everybody. It better be like Yondu's arrow that once it's in the air you can control it by whistling, because that arrow is done for.
Yeah.
Like,
but for whatever reason, just when she was like other materials, that's just what my brain went to.
Yeah. Do you think she picks up a wood bow?
Probably.
That's what she's most comfortable with.
I'd say wood or plastic.
Plastic, maybe. Because it says she's let's see, where is it? I'm gonna pick my first target. That means for practice.
Even as I pull back on the bow, I know there's something wrong. The string's tighter than the one I use at home. Which like that's not surprising.
Yeah, considering the bow she uses back home is
she's been using for years.
Yeah, first of all, it's handmade. That string is the pull string is definitely worn in. Whereas I assume that these are brand new fabrications of probably these weapons, so they've had almost no work-ins to them. And it's probably just a higher poundage too.
Yeah.
Like overall, like the one she's using at home is probably 45, maybe 50-pound pull weight, and I'm assuming these are 60 to 80-pound pull weight. What are you laughing at? Oh, why is
it's trying to chroma key because
it's highlighted? Yeah, that's funny. So she, strings her bow, walks over into the archery range, and she notches her first arrow, pulls it back, realizes there's something off about this.
She's not by the targets. She's in the middle of the gym.
Yeah. You're right. Standard bullseyes and human silhouettes. She walks to the center of the gym, picks her first target, the dummy used for knife practice. Even as I pull back on the bow, I know something's wrong. The string is tighter than the one I used at home. The arrow is more rigid. I miss the dummy by a couple of inches and lose what little attention I had been commanding. For a moment, I'm humiliated. Then I head back to the bullseye. I shoot again and again until I get the feel for this new weapon.
Which, honestly, she should have done in the first place.
Yeah, before she really started her personal...
Yeah, I think, like, she should have at least tried to shoot it once before.
Right, like, once or twice to kind of get a feel for the weight and the poundage on the bow.
Yeah. To, at the very least, see if it felt the same. Because, you know, if it felt the same, then it's like, okay, go out there with confidence, you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But...
let's see here. Back at the center of the gymnasium, she takes her initial position and skewers the dummy right through the heart. She severs the rope that holds the sandbag for boxing, which, like, that rope cannot be that big. Like, in just a few shots, she's already comfortable enough to cut something that's maybe, you know, maybe this to, like, maybe this big around. Like, it's probably not all that big in diameter, the rope that's holding this punching bag.
I mean, probably not, but I don't think it needs to be.
No, but to sever it in one shot is impressive. She would have had to have...
a very sharp arrow.
Yeah, but she still would have had to have hit it cleanly. No... Because even if, like, if she had hit it to the one side or the other, it would have just sliced it. The weight probably wouldn't have pulled it all the way down right away. But she hit it in such a way that it sliced perfectly through it on the first shot.
Yeah.
Like, that's an impressive shot to make.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not.
You know, she then...
shoulder rolls forward, coming up on one knee and sending an arrow into the hanging lights high above the gym floor. A shower of sparks bursts from the fixture. But...
the game makers
are not paying attention.
They're not paying attention.
Some of them, you know, a few nod approval, but the majority of them are fixated on a roast pig that has just arrived at their banquet table. Suddenly, I am furious that with my life on the line, they don't even have the decency to pay attention to me. And it's like, fair. I would also be pissed that I'm being upstaged by a dead pig. My heart starts to pound. I can feel my face burning. Without thinking, I pull an arrow from my quiver and send it straight at the game maker's table. I hear shouts of alarm as people stumble back. The arrow skewers the apple in the pig's mouth and pins it to the wall behind it. Everyone stares at me in disbelief. And, like, just...
Well, and one of them, you know, is staring at disbelief while covered in punch.
Yeah.
We don't know that till the next chapter. And we don't know who it is until the next book.
Yeah.
But I love it so much.
Like, they all just stare at her.
And then she just drops she hits the biggest mic drop moment of, like, the entire first book. And she just goes, thanks for your consideration. And walks out.
But no, in my head, like, especially when I was, like, just reading it, there is, like, she shoots the arrow. Everyone is just staring at her in disbelief. It is completely quiet. And then just... Shia LaBeouf. Seriously, that's what went through my head.
Oh, man. That's awesome. But yeah, that's the end of chapter 7.
And then thank you for your consideration. Just a great line.
Yeah.
And then I give a slight bow and walk straight towards the exit without being dismissed. And I wrote, classic Katniss.
I just wrote savage with 3 exclamation marks.
That is also true.
Because it's a very savage moment. That there is the end of chapter 7.
Yeah. And we have somehow managed to make this relatively, like, short and easy chapter last almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because we kept getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
Now,
I think we could still link in chapter 8.
I mean, probably...
Because chapter 8's, like, it's like 10 pages. 11 pages.
It goes from 3 to 13.
Yeah, so it's 10 pages.
Yeah. So we could probably do that.
Yeah. So we are going to take a short break while we refresh on chapter 8.
And then we'll
see you guys back here for what will be for you guys
the same video, but
in just a second. For us, it'll we're gonna take a little break, refresh, get something to drink.
Yeah.
And just stretch for a minute. So we'll see you guys right back here in the library in just a minute.
No eating in the library.
And we're back.
Yeah. It may or may not be hours since we stopped the recording to go over chapter 8 before coming back. Not that it actually took us hours to read it, but
we got caught up in a couple of other things that needed to be taken care of. So
yeah. So, but we're back.
Yep. And this will be a double episode, if you could not tell.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do more of these in the future.
Maybe.
On weeks where we know, okay, so next week's gonna be, pretty hard to record for. I mean, sometimes you just can't tell, but sometimes you can. So maybe there'll be more of these in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, we should be able to record for next week, this week, just fine. Because we have a lot of days off together.
Yeah. Things should line up pretty well to record.
Yeah.
So.
But
normally I would say we're coming off the tail of, chapter 7, but you guys have been here the whole time.
Yeah.
So Katniss storms out and makes her way towards the elevator.
Yeah.
It's a weird start to a chapter. We've never done it this way before.
Yeah. And she flings her bow to one side and the quiver to the other. And I just wrote sassy.
Yeah.
Because it's some sassy shit that she did.
Mm-hmm. She brushes past the Avox who guards the elevators and hit the gaping Avox. The Avox is just kind of sitting there like...
Did you, tuck your tongue back?
Yes.
You're fucked. You're terrible.
I am terrible, but am I wrong?
Yeah, because they're not tucking their tongues back. They don't have tongues.
Well, I'm not just going to cut my tongue out for a bit, so...
That's fair.
No, yeah, we don't have any ice in the house to put it on, so...
Look, oh, no, we don't.
No. We got a bag of fries.
You can do that.
To put it on.
Bag of hash browns,
Bag of frozen chicken. Yeah. But that doesn't... Neither here nor there. Anyway, so she pushes past this awestruck Avox and just jams the button for
12.
For 12 and
with her fist, she's like, I didn't.
That sounded like it hurt.
It didn't, because that was all my ring.
Okay,
so.
Cool. And just, she's happy that she made it back to her floor before the tears started to roam.
Yeah.
She takes off to her bedroom.
I just...
And slams the door in everyone's face. Well, metaphorically. There's no one actually at the door at the time, but metaphorically. Flings herself into bed and starts to sob like a child.
Yeah, I mean, fair. She was... I don't think it's so much... all upset crying. I feel like Katniss is the kind of person that when she gets really angry, she cries.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely anger-based crying. But she's like, I've done it. That's it. It's over for
now
me.
I've ruined everything.
She's like, I've ruined it for me. I've ruined it for PETA. I've ruined it for my family. She's over here like, they're gonna cut my tongue out and turn me into an Avox to serve the next group of tributes.
Well, no. She's not saying that they will do that. She's wondering if they will. You know, it's like, what will they do to me now? Arrest me, execute me, cut my tongue out, and turn me into an Avox so I can wait on the future tributes of Panem?
You know, she's like, what was I thinking shooting at the game makers? Of course I wasn't. I was shooting at that apple because I was so angry at being ignored. I wasn't trying to kill one of them. If I were, they'd be dead.
Which
Which is
is accurate.
true. Like if Katniss had wanted to kill them, there would have been no stopping her in that moment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what does it matter? It's not like I was gonna win the games anyway. Who cares what they do to me? What really scares me is what they might do to my family. My mother and my sister. Sorry.
Didn't know Katniss had that accent.
No, she doesn't. I'm just stupid. How my family might suffer because of my impulsiveness. Will they take their few belongings, or send my mother to prison and Prim to the community home, or kill them? They wouldn't kill them, would they? Why not? What do they care?
Which I mean, she makes like a relatively valid point.
Yeah, I mean, they're very unimportant to the Capitol.
Katniss is like reeling at this point. She's like, I should have stayed. I should have apologized.
I laughed like it was some big joke.
You know, like, haha, funny, oops.
You know, but instead I stalked out of the place in the most disrespectful manner possible.
Yep. Haymitch and Effie come knocking on Katniss' door. And she just tells them to bug off.
She's just like, leave me alone.
Total melodramatic teenager moment.
We've all been there. We've all been melodramatic teenagers at some point.
Pretty much. And eventually they do.
Whether someone else was around to see it or not, it still happened.
Oh, yeah. Eventually they leave her alone. She just lies curled up in bed, stroking the silken sheets and watching the sunset over the artificial candy capital, which I think is a great, just little bit of visual descriptor there.
Mm-hmm. At first, I expect guards to come for me, but as time passes, it seems less likely.
Yeah, if they wanted you, you wouldn't have made it off the elevator.
They still need a girl tribute from District 12, don't they? If the game makers want to punish me, they can do it publicly. Wait until I'm in the arena and 6 starving wild animals on me. You can bet they'll make sure I don't have a bow and arrow to defend myself.
Wrong you are, Katniss.
Yeah, we already talked about this. They end up with 1.
Yeah, and we were trying to decipher whether it was because of this that there was a bow at all, or because of this that there's only 1 bow. And I'm still curious as to whether or not...
I feel like it was because of this there's only, like, 1 bow. So it makes it harder on her for her to get her weapon of choice and use it.
That could be. I mean, it could also... It could be either way, right? Because if no one else showed any kind of interest in the bow and arrows during training or during the private sessions, they may not have added 1, period.
I mean...
It's like, if no one knows how to use them, why would you risk it when your life is on the line?
I mean, maybe, but... I feel like a bow and arrow is so... honestly difficult to use properly that if you don't feel like you are going to succeed, you're not even going to pick it up.
Maybe not. So again, it is a 50-50 toss up.
Yeah. Or there's like some random third answer that we're not even thinking of.
Right. Let's see here.
Before that, though, they'll give me a score so low no one in their right mind would sponsor me. That's what will happen tonight. Since the training isn't open to viewers, we've talked about this a bit before.
Yep, the training is completely private.
And the game makers will announce scores for
Yep.
each
I mean,
player.
not even the mentors and escorts. So like Haymitch and Effie don't know, Senna and Portia don't know, and it's the same for all the tributes. They don't know what's
Yeah.
going on during training, other than what their tributes tell them. They
Yeah.
don't have like they don't. There's not a spot in the gymnasium for them to sit and watch, as
Yeah.
it were with the game makers.
Yeah.
So like, other than what their tributes tell them, they have no way of knowing.
Yeah. And she goes on to say that it gives the audience a place to start the betting.
Yep.
That will continue on throughout the games. The number which is between 1 and 12, 1 being irredeemably bad and 12 being unattainably high, signifies the promise of a tribute. The mark is not a guarantee of which person will win. It's only an indication of the potential a tribute showed in training. Often because of the variables in the actual arena, high-scoring tributes go down almost immediately. And a few years ago, the boy who won the games only received a 3. Still, the score can help or hurt an individual tribute in terms of sponsors.
Yep.
Because if somebody scores like super low, they're likely not going to get any sponsors.
They're likely not to get any sponsors, and they're also likely to not be targeted first.
Yeah.
So having a lower score can be beneficial to you. Let's say Katniss did score low, right? Katniss can still hunt and trap and gather. Katniss would have survived longer regardless of her score, because she has these skills that she has honed.
Yeah, so even if she's to pull a 2 here, like she still has those skills.
Yeah.
So, it's not as
detrimental to her as it would be to say
the boy from District 5.
Yeah, or the boy from District 5, which doesn't he team up with the tributes or the careers?
No, you're thinking of the boy from District 3.
Ah, yes.
Anyway, literally I just pulled a district tribute out my ass, okay?
Hey, look, that's fine.
Just it, like...
So when Effie taps on the door to call Katniss to dinner, Katniss is like, well, I might as well go get some food. Katniss is like, I like to eat.
I think it's not so much that she likes to eat, but she's said before that one of the best things that she can do for herself between now and the time she enters the arena is put on weight.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't eat, she's not going to put on any weight.
No.
So there's that, but then also the scores will be televised later that night.
Yep.
So
it's not like she can hide what happened forever.
Not only that, but it's probably mandatory viewing.
Probably.
So even if she skipped
just
dinner,
like with everything else with the games.
Exactly. So even if she skipped dinner, she'd probably still have to go out there.
Yeah.
But she goes and she washes her face off as best as she can, but it's still a little splotchy red from the crying. We've all been there too.
Mm-hmm. So everyone's waiting at the table, even Senna and Portia.
Who, notably, as we said earlier in the video, I almost said in the last chapter, that they weren't around for, breakfast and dinner for the, previous days, during their 3 days, the first 2 days of training, because today is the last day of training.
Yeah. And before Katniss is like, I wish they were here. Now Katniss is like, I wish they hadn't shown up, because in some way I feel like I've disappointed them.
No, because for some reason I don't like the idea of disappointing
them. But it's as it's as if Katniss goes on to say, as if I've thrown away all the good work they did on the opening ceremonies without a thought. I avoid looking at anyone, take up tiny spoonfuls of fish soup. The saltiness reminds me of my tears.
Damn.
So the adults begin with some small talk.
Yeah, it was a little warm today.
Yeah, about the weather.
Um,
And
she glances up at PETA, and he's
just
like,
briefly, and he gives her this look of like,
"What happened?"
what happened?
And she just shakes her head a little, and then like goes back to eating.
And which that reprieve does not last very long. Haymitch is like, so enough small talk. Just how bad did you do today?
Yeah, and just I love that. Okay, enough small talk. Just how bad were you today? It's like, damn. Okay, Haymitch. Like, I would say sit down, but you are sitting down.
Yeah, it's like, calm down, buddy.
Back off.
Like,
I may have done great. Like, I literally just wrote damn. It's just so Haymitch of him.
Right. And Peter jumps in. He's like, I don't know that it mattered. By the time I showed up, no one even bothered to look at me. They were singing some kind of drinking song, I think. So I threw around some heavy objects until they told me I could go. And Katniss is like, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
And it's more for the reason that, you know, she wasn't the only one ignored.
Yeah. I mean, she does say it's not like PETA attacked the game makers, but at least he was provoked too.
Yeah.
So.
And Haymitch hits Katniss with that classic line, "And you, sweetheart."
I just drew a little smiley face next to that. Like, I've always loved it.
When he calls her sweetheart, and even much so more since the events of the last book.
And she's just like, somehow Haymitch calling me sweetheart ticks me off enough that I'm at least able to speak. I shot an arrow at the game makers.
Everyone stops eating. Like, everyone at the table is like,
you what?
Yeah.
The horror in Effie's voice confirms my worst suspicions.
Katniss is like, I shot an arrow at them. Not exactly at them, in their direction. It's like PETA said. I was shooting, they were ignoring me, and I just lost my head. So I shot an apple out of their stupid pig's roast mouth.
Stupid roast pig's mouth.
I like pig's roast mouth better.
I assume the mouth was roasted.
Yeah. Well. She says defiantly. And Katniss, or Sinis is like, and what did they say?
Nothing. Or, I don't know. I walked out after that. Without being dismissed? I dismissed myself. I said, I remember how I promised Prim that I would really try to win, and I feel like a ton of coal has dropped on me.
Mm-hmm. And then Haymitch is like, well, that's that. Like, it's, well,
and then such butters a roll.
He's like, well, such is life. Time to eat.
Do you think they'll arrest me?
I doubt it. It'd be a pain to replace you at this stage.
What about my family? Will they punish them?
Don't think so. My nose is so stuffy from allergies, it's making my Haymitch voice sound worse than usual.
Wouldn't make much sense. See, they'd have to reveal what happened in the training center for it to have any worthwhile effect on the population. I ran out of air for a second.
Yeah.
People would need to know what you did, but they can't since it's secret. So it'd be a waste of effort. More likely, they'll make your life a living hell in the arena.
Well, they already promised to do that to us anyway, PETA replies. And I think that's funny because, yeah, pretty much. Like,
very true.
Yeah.
And I realize the impossible has happened. They have actually cheered me up.
Yeah. Haymitch picks up a pork chop with his fingers.
The best way to eat a pork chop, honestly.
Honestly, best way to eat a pork chop. He, dunks it in his wine and rips a hunk of meat off and starts to chuckle. He's like, what were their faces like? And Katniss is like...
She can feel herself starting to smile. She's like shocked, terrified. Ridiculous, some of them. An image pops into my mind. One man tripped backwards into a bowl of punch.
Haymitch guffaws, which I love that.
Highlighted and wrote good word.
It's such a good word.
Love that word.
Guffaws.
And we all start to laugh, except Effie, although even she is suppressing a smile.
Which I highlighted because I'm like, come on, Effie, lighten up a little.
But, you know, she's
Effie.
there. And then it's like, well, it serves them right. It's their job to pay attention to you. And it's not...
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just my Effie voice made me laugh.
Okay.
And just because you come from District 12 is no excuse to ignore you. Then her eyes dart around as if she said something totally outrageous. I'm sorry, but that's just what I think. She says to no one in particular.
Which I wrote next to. I love Effie. This little moment here where she's like, it's their job to pay attention, and they didn't. Why in the hell? I did it like that on purpose, so I could find it.
Yeah, but why would you put a lowercase I? I is always
so I could spot it against the paper, because I'm using...
Dude, I gave you a highlighter and everything.
Yes, and the highlighter is in here right now.
Yeah, I know.
I also...
Have you considered using it?
Yes, I have. And I have used it. Not in the last 2 chapters, but I've used it.
Then you haven't used it. Because I only gave it to you in chapter 6, and you didn't use it. Because you left it over here and you were reading on your bed.
No, because I did use it. See? And that's in chapter 5.
No, that's not it.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It doesn't feel like it.
I'm telling you.
You have a blue...
Yes, but that is those are the right markings for it.
I don't know. Anyway, we're arguing over this and it's not important. Let's go back to...
I'm telling you, I did use it. You're just not paying attention. So Katniss is like, I'm gonna get a bad score, and Portia is like, scores only matter if they're good. No one pays attention to the bad scores or mediocre ones.
Bad.
For all they know, you could be hiding your talents to get a low score on purpose. People use that strategy.
Sorry, I just like that. Anyway. Pete is just like, I hope that's how people will interpret the 4 I'll probably get. If that really is anything less impressive than watching a person pick up a heavy ball and throw it a couple yards. One almost landed on my foot.
Which I just wrote lol next to.
Same.
Because I can just imagine Peter being like, oh shit. Like, damn, my nose is going crazy.
Have you considered not having a nose anymore?
And do what? Walk around like Lord Voldemort? If y'all are still with us at this point,
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say other than thank you. After dinner, they make their way into the sitting room where the TV is to watch.
Hold on a second. We're going to back it up a second. Just because, after, PETA says this, Katniss grins and she realizes that she's starving and she cuts off a piece of her pork chop and dunks it in her mashed potatoes. And, like...
The only thing that's missing is, like, a little bit of corn. Corn.
No.
What?
I said, My brain went to, He's
the Once Upon a Witchlight references in your head today are crazy.
Except that's not from... Is it? Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is that from what? No.
Yes, it is. It's in episode 4.
Yeah, it is actually. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just the fact that she's just like, pork chops in the mashed potato, and it's a mood, because same.
Yeah, Pork chops and mashed potatoes are delicious.
But I probably wouldn't. I'd be a mix of Haymitch and Katniss. I would just pick it up with my fingers and dunk it in the mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Because,
Rip off a
again,
piece
best
that
way to have pork chops is, especially fried pork chops, is just to eat them with your hands.
Hey, Mom, if you're watching, can you make me some fried pork chops? See?
So after dinner,
we haven't had dinner.
We also had a really big lunch for us. After dinner, they make their way to the sitting room to watch the scores announced on TV. First, they show a photo, just a photo, and then after that, the number will flash on screen as to what they got. So, not surprisingly,
the careers get, in the 8 to 10
yeah,
range.
8 to 10 range. Most of the other players hit, and average 5. Rue comes in with a 7. And she's like, I don't know what they showed the judges, but she's so tiny, it must have been quite impressive.
Yeah. And then District 12,
12 comes up at last. PETA pulls an 8.
So at least a couple of the game makers were paying attention to him, which is nice to know.
Yeah.
That he wasn't being completely ignored.
Yep. And then Katniss pulls a whopping...
And I dig my fingernails into my palms as my face comes up, expecting the worst. And then they're flashing the number 11 on the screen. 11?
A whopping 11. And I don't know if they say this. I didn't see it anywhere here, but, that's a rare score. I think they say in, the second book that most people don't usually get above a 10.
I mean, with the fact that, 12 is the best score you can get, and the fact that she does mention that the careers got to the 8 to 10 got from the 8 to 10 range,
Yeah.
It's probably fairly easy to deduce that 11s aren't very likely.
Fair.
And 12s are probably completely unheard of.
Katniss is like, this must be a mistake. How could this happen? She asks to Haymitch, and Haymitch is like, well, I guess they like your temper. They've got a show to put on after all.
They need some players with some heat. Katniss, the girl who was on fire, says Cinna, and gives me a hug, which I just love the fact that...
Yeah. Because Cinna's so good to her. He's so sweet to her.
Yeah. Oh, wait until you see your interview dress. More flames, I ask? Of a sort, he says mischievously.
Which...
I love that we both just said that word two different ways.
Yeah, I said it the right way.
No.
I said mischievously.
Yes, and I said mischievously.
And I said it the right way.
No, I think both of them are the right way. It's like caramel and caramel.
No.
Yeah, it just depends on the sentence it's going into. Anyway. And then her and PETA congratulate each other, which is another awkward moment. Which is fair, because, they've both done well, and it doesn't really I lost the word that I was trying to think of.
I can tell. Haymitch guffaws.
It doesn't really bode well for either of them that they've both done well. So,
right.
If one of them had done well and the other one had done bad, it's like, okay, maybe, better, But I mean, hey, PETA's score doubled what he thought it would be.
Yeah. So and he did do well. He's in the career range, which is impressive for somebody who's had no kind of formal training like the careers have. But the fact that he's a baker's kid and is hauling 100-pound sacks of grain and flour and this whatever. Or that,
But I also think it's impressive because he's from 12.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably not very often that that kids from 12 score that high.
Right. Especially not an 11.
Yeah.
Um.
But I'm talking about even the 8 that he
Right.
got.
So Katniss escapes to her room quickly.
Yep.
She full on probably sprints down the hallway again. Hallway?
Or I mean, either she sprints down the hallway or she just kind of like
Brisk walk.
yeah. And she goes into her room, and she burrows down under the covers. The stress of the day, particularly the crying, has worn me out. I drift off, reprieved, relieved, and with the number 11 still flashing behind my eyelids.
Yep.
Which honestly could have been, not saying that it should have been, but it could have been with the way that that sentence reads. Could have been the end of the chapter.
Yeah, it really could have, but that would have been like a really short chapter.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple more pages left.
Yeah,
where we are anyway, but that's not the point.
So at dawn, Katniss wakes up, lays in bed for a while, just watching the sun, come up on a beautiful morning. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
And Sundays are usually
a day's off back home.
Yep. But not today.
Well, I mean, technically, not even for like she doesn't get a day off.
No, because she's usually in the woods.
I mean, so she goes to school 6 days a week,
which is crazy, by the way.
And then so she goes to school Monday through Saturday, and then after school, they do runs to the woods to get whatever. And then they spend all day Sundays in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So Katniss and Gale, they don't get days off. They might not have school that day, but they're still working.
Yeah.
She literally is like, usually we devote all of Sunday to stocking up for the week. Rising early, hunting and gathering, and then trading at the Hob. So, she literally does go on to say that.
And she starts thinking about Gale in the woods. Without her, and like basically the amount of work that he's got ahead of him, right? Because for so many years, it's been the two of them hunting as a team.
And I think it's not even just so much the work that he's got ahead for him, but like, the
loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, both of us can hunt alone, but we're better as a pair, particularly if we're trying to for bigger game. But also in the littler things, having a partner lighten the load could make even the arduous task of filling my family's table enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably, since he has kept at it with her for all these years, it would be the same for him.
Yeah. Katniss had been struggling along on her own hunting for about 6 months when she first ran into Gale in the woods. Katniss was
12.
12. She had, it was a Sunday in October. Air was cool and pungent with dying things.
That smells a good smell.
Yeah, like dying leaves and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a nice, fresh smell. Which is weird when you talk about something dying, because it's usually the exact opposite.
Of fresh, yeah.
But those of you who understand what fall is, sorry, Florida, Arizona.
Georgia, most of Georgia at least.
Yeah. Specifically the southern half of Georgia.
Probably a good
SoCal.
Portion of Texas.
Southern California. Nevada. Where it's always hot.
Probably some places in Alabama get about as much cold as we do.
Yeah.
Like in the lower end.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana.
When you said Louisiana, my brain was like, that's not right. It's New Orleans. But no. There's more than just New Orleans and Louisiana.
Yeah.
Because Louisiana is the state.
Yeah.
But when you say Louisiana, you think New Orleans. I want to go to Mardi Gras. It's a little late in the year for that, but like.
Or a little early.
Early, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. It's like what, February, March?
But it's the third week in February, I think. Is Mardi Gras? Because I'm talking like New Orleans Mardi Gras, not Universal Mardi Gras. Although I would like to go to that too. They got really good drinks.
Okay.
Anyway, so she was out in the woods on a Sunday in October. The air cool and pungent with dying things. She had spent the morning competing with the squirrels for nuts, and the slightly warmer afternoon wading in the shallow ponds harvesting Katniss roots, her namesake.
The only meat she had shot was a squirrel that had practically run over her toes. In its quest for acorns, but she knows that the animals will still be around when the snow comes and buries her other food sources. Mm-hmm. So she needs to get them while she can.
Yep. She had strayed a little farther afield than usual, which I think is a great word as well, afield. This is not one they get to use a lot.
Yeah.
You know. So she was on her way back home, lugging her burlap sacks, when she came across the dead rabbit. It was hanging by its neck by a thin wire a foot above her head. About 15 yards away was another, and I recognized the twitch-up snares because my father had used them. When prey is caught, it is yanked up into the air and kept away from other hungry animals. Katniss had been trying herself to use some snares all summer, but was having very little luck.
Well, she, yeah, no luck. Yeah. No luck at all.
That's why I said very little.
But it was even more than very little. It was none.
She reaches out to grab the wire just above one of the rabbits when a voice rang out.
That's dangerous.
Darkwing Duck.
And she jumps back
several feet. Which, how hard you gotta scare somebody for them to jump back several feet?
Well, I mean, a foot is only like a yard is not that big.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. So we'll say she jumped back about a yard.
Yeah. And Gale materializes from out of nowhere.
He just apparates behind a tree. He's like, "What do you need?"
He was 14 at the time. They're 2 years apart. But he cleared 6 feet and was as good as an adult to me. I'd seen him around the seam and at school. And one other time, he had lost his father in the same blast that killed mine. In January, I stood by while he received his Medal of Valor in the Justice Building. Another oldest child with no father.
Mm-hmm.
Rip.
Yep.
And then I remembered his 2 little brothers clutching his mother, a woman whose swollen belly announced that she was days away from giving birth. That's rough, buddy. Like, honestly, like...
Her first husband died in a mine explosion.
That's rough, buddy. I don't think she marries again, though.
I don't either. But we don't really get a lot from them.
Yeah.
Post this, like, Katniss going into the arena the second set of games. In the second book.
I mean, you get a bit of them in the third book.
But it's more of just, like, they're alive. And they're okay.
I mean, but, like, so we have...
I mean, I do believe, doesn't Hazel go with Katniss's mom to work in the hospitals later?
I don't think so.
No? Because I know Prim does.
Right.
I can't remember what Hazel does.
The only moment that is popping in my head right now, between with Hazel and the kids is when the exchange between Posey and Octavia when she's like, "You're green."
Oh yeah. You're green.
It's supposed to be pretty. Sorry.
Oh, that whole lead up makes me so mad.
I'm there. Because I'm listening to Mockingjay now, going to sleep. Just because I listened to the other two, I gotta listen to this one.
Oh, of course.
So, that's where I am, is in that chapter where she finds them.
It's
rough.
Oh, it makes me so mad to think about. Because they're so naive. But anyway.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, though. It's just like, she, as, Katniss says, Hazel was days away from giving birth, and her husband is now dead.
Yeah.
And it's just her two young children, and then one teenager. Mm-hmm. And it's just like,
You think Katniss's mom helped deliver that baby? No, never mind. No.
I think had Katniss's dad not died, Papa Everdeen, had he not died, probably.
Probably, yeah. I thought I asked that question, and then I was like, no, wait, that's not possible, because her mom went into a very deep depression and stopped existing, basically.
Same.
So Gale is like, "What's your name?"
As he's like taking
the rabbit from the snare and kind of resetting it and everything, and
Katniss.
Yeah, Katniss is like, Katniss, barely audible, and Gale goes, "Well, Catnip, stealing is punishable by death, or hadn't you heard?"
She's like, "Katniss," I said louder, "and I wasn't stealing. I just wanted to look at your snare. Mine never catch anything."
He scowled at me, not convinced. "So where'd you get that squirrel?"
I shot it.
I don't know why. Gale just turned into a hillbilly, but
I don't know, but I decided to breeze past it. I pulled my bow off my shoulder. I was still using the small version. Oh my lord.
You okay?
I don't know. I pulled my bow off my shoulder. I was still using the small version my father had made me, but I'd been practicing with the full-size one when I could.
Excuse
bless
me.
you. Where was I? Oh, I was hoping that by spring I might be able to bring down some bigger game.
Mm-hmm.
Gale's eyes fasten on the bow.
Excuse me.
You were sneezy last session too.
Yeah.
Can I see that? I hand it over. Just remember, stealing's punishable by death. Which I honestly think just like that whole thing is a bit funny, because it's like, dude, poaching off the capital's land is also punishable by death.
Yeah.
So it's not like either one of you could go tattle on the other and it'd be
fine.
And
I think that was the whole point in the
exchange.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. That was the first time I ever saw him smile. It transformed his face from someone menacing to someone you wished you knew. But it took several months before I returned that smile.
Because again, Katniss is very guarded, even then, and this is just 6 months after her father died, no, she'd been hunting on her own for 6 months, so this is probably about 9 months or so, 9 to 10 months after her father died.
Well, it's October.
Yeah.
So it's like 9 months, I'd say. Because he died in January.
Right.
We don't know how far into January he died.
So we'll say approximately 10 months-ish. And that's
pushing definitely at 9 months completely.
Yeah,
So
that's why I said ish.
yeah. So I feel like it doesn't matter. Never mind. We were about to sit here and argue about like whether it should call it 9 months or 10 months, but it really doesn't matter.
But don't you know that's what the people are here for? Is the pointless, conversations.
Huh. Sorry.
Yeah, no, me too.
Oh, okay, sure. So since we have no way of guaranteeing that it has been 10 months since he died, we can assume that well, actually, she hasn't. It may have been 9 months since he died, but she didn't start hunting until like a couple weeks before she turned 12. So she's only been hunting for like 7 months by herself.
It says
6 or 7 months.
It says at the beginning of the story that she'd been hunting by herself for 6 months.
Okay.
But I was talking about from the time her father died to this point.
Yeah. So I would say that it's been 9 months just because we don't know exactly when.
Right.
So to not go over, Price of Right rules. 9 months.
Right. But my main point in saying that is because, like, it hasn't been that long since her father passed. And what I was going to say is it's nice to see that, and although he's not much older, it's nice that she's got an older male figure kind of in her life again to kind of help her out.
Yeah.
Was my whole point even going down that path of logic. Fair. Because Gail also had to grow up very quickly. They just did it in different ways, in similar ways, but in different ways. So Gail's Gail is bigger. He's, and everything. So Katniss is going to see him as an adult, at least for a while. Yeah. She does eventually consider him a friend.
Yeah. At first they just talk about hunting. She told him that she might be able to get him a bow if he had something to trade. She didn't want like food.
No food.
She's like, I want knowledge. Gimme. Mm-hmm. So, in exchange for teaching her how to build, her own snares, or set her own snares, I should say, she gives him a bow, teaches him how to shoot.
Yeah.
And they slowly, start, really, like, what's the word?
Depending. Not depending.
No,
relying is not the right word either.
No. Like opening up, I guess, to each other.
Yeah.
We grudgingly began to share our knowledge, our weapons, our secret places that were thick with wild plums or turkeys. He taught me snares and fishing. I showed him the plants to eat and eventually gave him one of our precious bows. And then one day, without either of us saying it, we became a team, dividing the work and spoils, making sure that both of our families had food. Gale gave me a sense of security I'd lacked since my father's death. His companionship replaced the long solitary hours in the woods. I became a much better hunter when I didn't have to look over my shoulder constantly, when someone was watching my back. But he turned into so much more than a hunting partner. He became my confidant, someone with whom I would share thoughts I could never voice inside the fence. In exchange, he trusted me with his, being out of the woods being out in the woods with Gale, sometimes I was actually happy. And it's like, wow, look at you, Katniss. You made yourself a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
She goes on to say, I call him my friend, but in the last year it seemed too casual a word for what Gale is to me. A pang of longing shoots through my chest. If only he was with me now. But of course, I don't want that. I don't want him in the arena where he'd just be dead in a few days. I just miss him. And I hate being so alone. Does he miss me? He must. And it's like, does he?
Probably.
At least for now.
I mean, I honestly.
Well, I never doubt that Gale loves Katniss. I just don't think Gale realizes where his humanity lies. But that's something we'll get into later.
I think
more so later, I should say.
You know, with Gale, if he did not, I don't think with how long they have been doing this for, I don't think, her going off wouldn't make him lonely and wouldn't make him miss her. And
Excuse me.
like I do think he misses her and that he's feels lonely without her. They've been friends for 5 years now, and
basically each other's only confirmed true friend.
Yeah, or at least at this point, or at least for Katniss. We don't know for Gale. But the fact that they have spent so much time together, like even if he didn't realize that like he considers like how much of a friend he considers her to be, I think he still would find himself missing her in her absence and being worried about her and what she's about to have to go through in the arena. So I'd say, yeah, he does miss her. I do like how here she's like, I think of the 11 flashing under my name last night. I know exactly what he'd say to me. Well, there's some room improvement there. And it's like,
he would though.
Yeah.
But he'd say it in like a joking manner, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. But just like that would be my response as I'm cracking my knuckles and I'm about to knock you out. Not for realsies, but oops. I forgot I had another alarm.
Yeah, so did I. Only sorta though. I was just thinking a few minutes ago.
Well, it has been almost an hour since we started.
Yeah.
But
she doesn't feel like it.
No, but this is like a
really short chapter.
Yeah. And then she goes on to think, I can't help comparing what I have with Gale to what I'm pretending to have with PETA. How I never question Gale's motives while I do nothing but doubt the latter's. It's not a fair comparison, really. Gale and I were thrown together by mutual need to survive. PETA and I know that the other's survival means our own death. How do you sidestep that?
And honestly, it's funny to me, right? This section here, right? It's like I never question Gale's motives, while I do nothing but doubt the latter's. It's not a fair comparison, really. Gale and I were thrown together by mutual need to survive, and PETA and I know the other's survival means our own death. How do you sidestep that? But as this series goes on, that gets completely flipped on its head.
But so much changes between where she is now and the end.
Yeah, but like it's crazy to see how that turns and how that flips.
Yeah.
And like this is almost, I won't say that it's laying the groundwork, but if you were like doing this if you were, if you were doing like what we're doing right now, you could definitely make that comparison to where this is where this starts.
Yeah.
For sure.
I do like agree with her and like get like how do you sidestep something like that when you are thrown into a situation where your survival means the other person's death.
Right.
Like I don't think there really is any way to be genuinely like friends with each other, knowing that if it comes down to you as the last two, one of you is going to kill the other. So I think that's fair. But then Effie is knocking at her door.
Yep.
Reminding me that there's another big day.
Whose phone was that?
Yours. Mine's on silent.
Oh.
Tomorrow night will be the televised interviews, and I can't wait for that. I love that chapter.
I love that chapter so much. It's such a good chapter.
And she's like, I guess the whole team will have. I guess. Sorry.
Y'all see what I have to deal with?
I guess the whole team will have their hands full getting us ready for that.
Sounded like you were trying not to have a stroke the whole way through that sentence.
Something like that.
Katniss gets up, takes herself a quick shower, being a bit more careful about, what buttons she presses.
Yeah, so this time she's not hopping back and forth.
You know, in a monsoon of hot and cold.
Yeah. Thick lemony foam.
She heads down to the dining room where Peeta, Effie, and Haymitch are huddled around a table talking in hushed voices. Seems odd to Katniss, but Katniss is like,
food.
I'm hungry. So what does she do? She goes and gets something to eat before joining them.
The stew's made with tender chunks of lamb and dried plums. Which honestly
perfect on the bed of wild rice.
Sounds so good.
Yeah, but lamb is expensive.
Yeah, I know. Everything's expensive nowadays, okay?
That's fair.
She's like shoveled halfway through it, when she realizes that no one at the table is talking. So she's just like, she swallows, takes a gulp of her drink, and is like, so, what's going on? You're coaching us on interviews today, right? That's right, says Haymitch.
You don't have to wait until I'm done. I can listen and eat at the same time, I say.
I would sure hope so, because...
Just because you're chewing doesn't mean your ears stop working.
Unless, it's that, that sound that your jaw makes is that loud. But if that's the case, I don't think I would... I'd
just be NPO for the rest of my life, I think. Nothing by mouth. I'd become too fed.
If you said NPO.
I did. I can't remember what it stands for, but it basically means nothing by mouth.
I was B and P may rhyme, but they are not the same letter.
No, it's I'll have to look it up and tell you later. Kat is like, you don't have to wait till I'm done. I can listen and eat at the same time. And Haymitch is like, well, yeah, see, about that.
Some things have changed.
We're changing things up a little bit. Katniss is like, what's that? And
thinking, I'm not sure what our
current approach is.
Trying to appear mediocre in front of the other tributes is the last bit of strategy I remember. Haymitch shrugs. Peeta has asked to be coached separately. And that's big oof.
Yeah, that is where the chapter ends. That is the end of chapter 8.
Yep.
We've got 2 chapters before 11.
Yep. So
It's crazy.
In 2 weeks we're gonna,
Like we're
or 3 weeks technically, because in 3 weeks
we're about a quarter of the way through the book at this point.
We're gonna have a guest.
Yep. And we will let you guys know who that is, episode 10. So you guys will find out before the week of that episode. Or the week before that episode.
Yeah.
And
maybe we'll grab a picture of them and just like cut them out and just make it black so it's like just their silhouette. It's a lot of work.
Could be done fairly easily though. But that is, I don't really have a question for this week just because of how crazy everything has been.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, you know what? Here's the question. Had Katniss not shot the arrow through the apple, what do you think her score would have been? Do you think she would have placed in like that average like 8 to 10 for like the careers? Or do you think she would have placed lower?
Let us know in the comments.
That's a good question.
Thank you for not rioting on us for the fact that we did not post last week.
Yeah,
shit was crazy, as we said.
Yeah.
And thank you to all of you who have stayed till the end. I know that this video is about 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And you're probably loath to sit here and listen to us speak for that long. I get it. But we really appreciate you sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of. Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, in that case, please remember to renew your books on the way out. We will see you next week. Bye.